Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Christopher with Plan Your Truth, and in today's video I want to do a little bit of a recap of my Disneyland trip, and we're also going to show you all of the stuff that I either purchased or received during my Disneyland trip. I'm so excited. This was such a magical trip. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the vlogs. In case you missed them, I will make sure to link that playlist for you with all of the vlogs. I also did a really cool video kind of working through all of the different Disneyland hotels and talking about some of those different options and perks and things like that. So all of that is linked for you. But what I want to start with, because I have it all out right now, is all of the stuff that I purchased or received from this trip. So to do a little bit of a haul. So let's just jump right into it. I also want to mention that I am a travel agent. So if you are interested in going to Disneyland or Disney World or a cruise or really anywhere, please message me. I'm trying to grow my business and I really would appreciate if you message me, and we'll see if I'm able to help and provide any resources and expertise for you. It's completely free. It would be the same price if you booked it on your own. So I'd really appreciate if you reached out if you're interested in having some help planning an upcoming vacation. But anyway, let's start with, I didn't buy a ton on this trip. Since it was a free trip, I wanted to keep costs as minimal as possible. So I still had to get a couple things though. So first up, I got this really cute shirt. It has Mickey, heart, peace. So like peace, love, and Mickey is what I'm doing here. And then it also says Disneyland on there. I don't usually go for shirts that are this color. Like it's almost like a cream, but I thought it was really simple and really cute, so I wanted to pick it up. So that is the only t-shirt that I got, but I did get a long sleeve. I thought this one was really cute. So it has like patches on it. So this is a long sleeve shirt. And we have a patch for the castle, Mickey's Fun Wheel, the Matterhorn. It's just like different icons here at Disneyland. And then Disneyland Resort is in that beautiful like gold color. And I just think that it is a really nice, again, simple shirt. I'm kind of gravitating towards simple shirts. And then it's blank, just like the other one, completely blank on the back. So I saw that and I was like, all right. I wanted to only get one shirt, but I thought that I needed that. I only purchased 3 other things from this trip. So 5 purchases on a Disney trip is maybe the best that I've ever done. So this is a new thing. I'm collecting Disney pens. So I have one that's a similar shape. It's like the Mickey Mouse version of this, but this is the mini version with her little bow on there. And I just think she's so cute. I like it for photos, for like flat lays, but also like how fun to be able to write with pens like this. So I'm trying to pick up one of these now on every trip that I go, or if I see a really cute one. I am trying to minimize my pin purchases. It's very easy to go down a rabbit hole and want to purchase every single Disney pin, but I'm trying to be better, and I think I'm going to set like, I only can buy one every trip. So I thought this one was really pretty. Has, it's kind of like Mary Blair. Oh, sorry, you couldn't really see it. Maybe I want you to see it in the lighting. If I bring it here, it's a little, you can kind of see it's like the little Mickey there on the train. But I thought that this was a really cute pin and kind of in that Mary Blair style, which if you don't know, designed a lot with It's a Small World. So a very classic artist and designer for Disney. And then the last thing that I purchased, which I'm trying to get one of these now every time I go, is an ornament. My goal is to have a full Disney tree, so I want to pick up an ornament every time. So on this side, we have some of those same icons from Disneyland on the back with the fireworks. And oh, actually, Tinkerbell is on there too. Do you see her up in the, or wait, no, she's on this side. We got Tinkerbell with the fireworks, and then of course, Sleeping Beauty Castle. So really loved picking this up, but I still have some other things to show you. So first off, let me roll over to my bed with all the stuff on it. I got a couple items. while with the event that I was on. So I save everything. So even like this was our like quote unquote name tag that we had to wear, our badge, our lanyard. I kept that, whether I memory keep with it or one day make a shadow box with kind of like different Disney things like this. I always keep this kind of stuff. So I kept that. We got 2 notebooks. This one is my favorite. It says on there, earmarked gold producer, because I am now with an agency that is earmarked gold. And it's nothing to write home about. The paper isn't great for us paper lovers, but it's a very nice notebook. And it came with a pen. Or maybe it is this pen, because I got 2 pens. I can't find the other one, but just very simple. It says earmarked gold on there. And then this one was just like a notepad, but of course, I had to keep it. It says Disney meetings and events on there. And then I thought this was really cute. They're colored pencils, but it's in this container that says Boundless Magic. And I just thought they were really cute, and I probably will never open them and just have them sitting on my desk. But let's say you're going to a Disney park and you want some like extra free merchandise that maybe you didn't pay for. Well, let me now show you a couple things that I have that were completely free, or just like souvenirs from the trip, or things that I paid for. So first off, I'm so excited to have these. We ate at Lamplight Lounge, and I very politely asked my server if they had any extra sets of the coasters. Their coasters are beautiful. So on the front, it just says Lamplight Lounge with this beautiful Pixar design. And on the back, they have different characters from some of the different Pixar films and the Pixar shorts. Like we have Up featured, some of the shorts, Incredibles, Alien from Toy Story, again from one of the shorts, and then of course from Coco. So she brought me out a whole set. I was so thankful. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I don't really want to use them. I kind of want to display them or make like a cute collage with them. I don't know. So I took those home, and that was free just for being at the restaurant. I also, of course, kept my Disneyland hotel room key. So I have that as a little souvenir from that stay. And then in the hotel, we got, of course, the map. So I kept the map. I'm so silly. But I keep anything like that. Like, what I didn't actually get, sometimes I'll get the park maps when I'm in the park, but I don't think I got them this time. But I always keep stuff like that. And then in our room was a little note about the new Disneyland Hotel Villas. But on the back is this beautiful print of Steamboat Willie. And it says welcome home, and I just thought it was beautiful. So of course I'm going to keep, I love Disney art. So anyway, those are the different items and my haul from this Disneyland trip. Now you're going to see Christopher in maybe a different outfit or something, and we're going to recap the trip and answer some questions that I received about Disneyland. And we're back. I want to now talk about just a little bit of a trip overview. And I also got some questions on Instagram and YouTube about Disneyland in general. So we're just going to have a little bit of a conversation. A lot of you are very familiar with Disney World, and I go there quite often. I have an annual pass, and I vlog a lot of those trips. I actually have one coming up very, very soon, so more on that. Stay tuned for that. But today I want to talk a little bit about Disneyland from that perspective, from somebody that is very familiar with Disney World, and kind of comparing the two a little bit. So let's start with some of the questions that I received. Let's just kind of dive in. And thank you to everyone that did submit a question. Okay. So the first one that we're going to talk about is Disneyland or Disney World. If you are looking to go on a Disney vacation, where should you go? This is a loaded question because it really depends on a lot of things. I think if you are looking for, I was going to say a week, but like if you're looking for a longer vacation with more things to do, Disney World without a doubt. Disney World is so much bigger. There's 2 extra theme parks. There's 2 extra water parks. There's a huge shopping area that's way bigger than the Disneyland one. And there's over 20 Disney resorts that you can also go explore. So I always say you could be at Disney World for a month and still not do everything. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Now, that's not necessarily a downside of Disneyland, though, because Disneyland feels intimate. It feels special. It's very unique. And especially coming from somebody that is a Disney adult and has a true love of the history of the parks and Walt Disney, being in Disneyland is unlike Disney World because Walt actually stepped foot there. He actually saw the park in operation. He had his hand in that entire process. So Disneyland is a special, special place. But like I said, it's smaller, which could be a positive. To be able to park hop back and forth between the parks is unbelievable. So I know this doesn't answer your question, but Disney World or Disneyland, it depends, and I would love to figure out which one is better for you. I am a travel agent and would love to help plan your next magical vacation. So send me a message, comment down below, and we can have that conversation to see which is better for you. Now, if you're asking my opinion, my heart will always be at Disney World. That is where my love of the Disney parks really began. I love it. So that's what I would say. But, man, I love when I get to go to Disneyland. It's really special. And the food at Disneyland is better. Maybe. I don't think that's a hot take. But food at Disneyland is where it's at. 3 must-dos at Disneyland for newbies. It's a great question. I'm going to gravitate towards things that are not at Disney World. So one thing I think everyone should do is inside the castle. You can do a little, I was going to say Snow White. You could do a little Sleeping Beauty walkthrough. And the reason I think that you should do this is it's very cool to be able to go inside of the castle. So even though this castle at Disneyland is a lot smaller than Disney World, I think it's really special that you get to go inside the castle. So I would say you should do that for sure. Another one of my favorites is Radiator Spring Racers. So this is the Cars Land ride in Disney California Adventure. I would say that is a must-do, 100%. It is such a beautiful ride, and it's very similar to Test Track at Epcot, but the theming is all cars, and it's incredible. I feel like that you have to do without a doubt. And then, oh goodness. And then I'm gonna say stuff that is very quintessential Disneyland. So whether that be, eating a churro on Main Street, or riding Dumbo, or seeing Walt's apartment with the light turned on, something really special and OG classic Disneyland vibes. That's what I would say. Or maybe even an opening day attraction, something that has been there since opening day. I feel like that's a must-do because a big part of Disneyland is the history. So, yeah, that's what I would say. Now, again, that answer is going to differ. If you've never been to Disney World either, then I'm going to say, okay, well then, you have to do Pirates and Haunted Mansion and Rise of the Resistance and things like that are, cult classics and amazing rides. So, foodie recommendations at both parks. I have an entire list. So if you book a trip with me, I send you a whole guide to either Disney World or Disneyland. And in that guide, I have a lot of my recommendations. But let me think of my favorites. Disney California Adventure, I'm going to say, oh my gosh, I had shawarma for the first time this trip. It was so good. 10 out of 10 recommend the shawarma. I love Lamplight Lounge. If you're looking for a sit-down experience, Lamplight Lounge is unbelievable. The theming in there is fantastic, especially if you like Pixar. The drinks are great. The food is great, so I would definitely recommend that. That's what's coming to the top of my head over there. Disneyland, I could talk for hours, but I won't. I would say the Jolly Holiday combo, which is a really cool grilled cheese and tomato soup, is classic but delicious. Bengal barbecue is stunning. You get meat skewers and stuff. It's really healthy, but also delicious. You have to have a churro at Disneyland. They're better than Disney World, so you have to try a churro at Disneyland. Gosh, what else? A Monte Cristo is a classic, so I feel like everyone has to try that. Oh, and I never even talked about beignets. You have to have a beignet, a Mickey beignet. And then I also talked a little bit in the vlogs about these chocolate chip cookies. If you know, you know, they were so good. So watch the vlogs to see exactly where I got that, but that was delicious. My favorite walking shoes for the parks. If you have a favorite pair of walking shoes, let me know down below, because I'm still kind of on the lookout. I tried Hoka's. Hot take. They're not really working for me. Hey Dudes are what I wear right now. I love Hey Dudes. I just bought a couple new pair. And they're really comfortable and lightweight, and they've been really great for me in the parks. But I know some people prefer something with like an open toe. I need more support, so I like a sneaker or like a shoe. Staple item to bring with you to the park. Number one for me is going to be, no matter what park you're going to, is a portable charger, without a doubt. The second thing I would say for me at Disney is ears. I literally cannot. If I'm in a Disney park without ears, nope, I'm not feeling well. But number one would definitely be a portable phone charger. What is your best tip or trick when visiting one of the Disneyland parks? So I would definitely say at Disneyland, you need the park hopper. I think it's really amazing being able to park hop back and forth. I love it at Disney World as well, so I recommend it to my clients. But at Disney World, or I'm sorry, at Disneyland, I feel like it's essential. It's essential. To be able to go back and forth like that is amazing. I also, this is for any Disney park, I like to eat at off-peak meal times. So if you eat either like a really early or a little bit of a later breakfast, and same with lunch. So if you're going to get lunch at like 11, or you could get lunch at like 2 or 3, if you eat in those in-between times, the restaurants are not going to be as crowded. And I also enjoy getting to take a midday break. So what I usually do is I will, rope drop, do park heavy, do the rides, do the things. And then around that like 10:30 time frame is when, all right, let's take a quick little break for a late breakfast, early lunch, and then we're going again. Now this is when the park is going to start to be really, really crowded. So around that 2 o'clock time is a perfect time to have a sit-down meal or a sit-down break to get out of the heat, out of the parks. So I think that is a great tip, to eat at off-peak meal times, but then also to take a break. I like to take breaks at the different Disney resorts. So at Disneyland, I always go to the Grand Californian to take my break. That lobby is stunning. The piano guy is usually playing there. And it's just like a really cool experience to get out of the parks, away from the craziness, out of the heat, but still in that Disney bubble. Someone said, is the food really better than Walt Disney World? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. In my opinion. Now, take that with a grain of salt, because there's more options at Disney World, of course, because a lot of those 20 plus hotels have great restaurants as well. There's more theme parks, so there's more options at Disney World. But I feel like at Disneyland, there are so many bangers. There are so many good, like, little food carts or quick service, or it's amazing what they have. We kind of touched on this a little bit. Best food, I already talked about. Best ride. So my favorite is the Radiator Spring Racers in Cars Land. Yeah, I would say that's my favorite ride. I'm trying to think over at Disneyland. I struggle with picking a favorite, but it's probably going to be like a Pirates, which Pirates is different. I mean, a lot of the rides, if it's at both Disney World and Disneyland, don't automatically say, oh, I don't want to ride that because it's the same. They are not all exactly the same. Pirates at Disneyland is way better. It's a longer ride, and so it's also the classic. So to be able to ride the OG, the one that the Florida ride was based on, is also really special. So But yeah, I would say Pirates, even if you've ridden it a million times at Disney World, you should ride it at Disneyland because it's better. And same, there's quite a few rides that I would say that with. Like even It's a Small World, at Disneyland, you're going to have the Disney characters in the ride. So like there's a doll of Alice in Wonderland and Lilo and Stitch, and you're going to see those characters in doll form, which I think is really cool. So yeah, that would be, when we're talking about rides, definitely don't discount the rides that you've already ridden in the other park because they are sometimes different. Not always, but sometimes. Okay, next up. This is a great question. Are there any types of dining or drink packages for the parks similar to on a cruise ship? So there is no like drinking package. And actually there's not even a drinking package on Disney Cruise Line. There are, when I do Royal and stuff like that, there definitely are. But so in the parks, I should say at Disneyland, there is nothing like that. At least as of right now. There's no dining plan or anything like that. You pay a la carte for all of these things. At Disney World, however, in Florida, they did bring back the dining plan. I'm so excited. So on my trip that I'm taking, literally in like, by the time you're watching this, like a week and a half. I can't even believe it. But more on that later. I'll talk about that next week, in next week's video. But sorry, I just went on a little spiral. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to leave for all these trips very soon. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys about that very soon. What were we talking about? My mind was like, I have to pack. I have so much to do. Okay, back to Disneyland. So the reason I spiraled, I am going to be trying the dining plan at Disney World when I go later this month. So I'm excited I'll do a video for sure talking about if I think it's worth it or not. But I'm excited about it because it just makes it so convenient. You know, it feels more like an all-inclusive vacation when you can just tap your Magic Band and you already paid for it and it just feels free even though it's not free. But that is not the case at Disneyland. That's just at Disney World right now. And the last one, what are your top 3 things to do in Disneyland? We actually talked about that in terms of a newbie perspective, but let me tell you my top 3 things to do. I am going to say Cars Land as one thing. I think Cars Land is amazing. So that for me, like just being able to walk in Cars Land is definitely number 1. Number 2 is food for me. I'm doing big generic topics here, but number 2 is food. And number 3 for me is going to be the classic Disney, the things that you can do in Disneyland that you can't at Disney World. So those are always my priorities. And I know Cars Land technically fits in that, but that deserves its own number because Cars Land is amazing. So yeah, so those are always my priorities when I go. I want to focus on the things that I can't do at Disney World. So that's things like Pixar Pier, Cars Land, Avengers Campus. We haven't even talked about Avengers Campus on this video. That's a really cool area as well. Mickey's Toontown, getting to see like Mickey's little village and his home and all of his friends' homes. So things like that are quintessential Disneyland, but also unique to Disneyland. Those are some of my priorities. And then, like I said, the food, 100%. Something that I want to do really bad, I don't know if I'm going to make it this year. I really, really want to do the Oogie Boogie Bash. That is top of my list. That is Disneyland's version of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And from what I've heard and seen in videos, it is amazing at Disneyland. So that is top of my list for something that I want to try very, very soon, hopefully, at Disneyland. But that is, those are all the questions that I got. Overall, this trip was so magical. Every time I go to Disneyland, it's amazing. We talked a lot about my favorites today and some tips and tricks that I have. My biggest one for any Disney vacation is you need to sit down with the people that you're going with and figure out what everyone's priorities are. There is so much to do. Even though Disneyland is smaller, I was there for almost 3 full days, and I did not do everything. There are things even that I wanted to do that I missed. There's no way to do everything, no matter how long you're there, because there is so much to do in these parks, and so much magic to experience, and characters to meet, and shows to see, and all the things. So it's really important to figure out what is the most important for you in terms of rides that you want to ride, characters you want to meet, foods you want to eat, whatever it is. Think about what your priorities are. And then let everyone have a say, right? Let everyone pick a couple things. Oh, I really want to ride Space Mountain. Oh, my priority is people watching on Main Street. Have everybody input their priorities, and then just come up with a list of, whatever it is for you. It depends on how long your trip is. But your top 3 things, your top 10 things, just think about your priorities. And don't put 85 things on that list, because you want to leave room for the magic. That is my favorite part of Disneyland. We didn't even talk about this either. There are characters that roam at Disneyland way more than Disney World. It's not official meet and greets where you stand in a line and then meet the character, take your selfie, and leave. They are interacting. They're walking around the park and walking up to people in the park and having fun and laughing and telling jokes. And that is so special. So you don't want to plan your days down to a T. You want to leave room for, oh my gosh, wait, Ursula's over there. Are you kidding me? Or the Evil Queen's over there. Or, oh, it's Woody. Let's go talk to Woody and have a fun conversation with him. Maybe you're walking past a cart that has, you smell delicious popcorn. And that was not on your list. You were like, no, wait, I have to go. I had it on my list. I had to go get a churro. But that popcorn smells so good, and somebody in your party really... Stop and get the popcorn. You have to leave that room for, spontaneity, magic, whatever you want to call it, pixie dust. So while I think it's important to pick your priorities, don't overwhelm yourself. You're never going to get to do everything. So pick your top couple things that you would like to do on this trip, and then just be open-minded. Have a good time, relax, let the magic come to you, because it will. If you let it, and if you're there with the right mindset. If you are there ready to have a good time, ready to experience the magic, and in that positive, magical, how many times can I say magic? Mindset, you're going to have a magical time. All right, that's the last time I'll say that. But overall, like I said, this trip was amazing. I learned a lot, too, for the travel agent training portion. I know I didn't film a ton of that for the vlogs, but that was really special. And, I mean, to be able to say that I was hosted by Disney, I'm going to tear up thinking about it. It was a special trip. It was a special trip. So I hope you guys enjoyed following along. I can't wait to get back there very soon, but make sure to hit that subscribe button, because there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of Disney and Universal vlogs coming. That's all I'll say for right now. But I'm talking I have on my content calendar 14 videos just from these trips I have coming up. So make sure to hit that subscribe button to see all of my content in the pipeline. Also, again, if you are interested in planning a trip to Disneyland, Disney World, Universal, a cruise, whatever, send me a message, comment down below. I would love to be able to help you. And it's totally free. A lot of people still don't realize that. You don't pay me anything extra. I get paid directly from Disney or Universal or the cruise. So it's always amazing to have somebody on your side and there to help you plan a magical trip. So that is all for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more of my videos and all of those future Disney vlogs, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And remember to plan your truth so that you can live your truth. Thanks so much.